Throughout his adult life, Richard Mintz devoted his time and resources to making the world a better place. Not satisfied with just being an admired lawyer, Richard became much more. He became an involved citizen who was committed to making his community a better place for all of us. Following in the footsteps of his two philanthropic parents, Herman and Esther, making a difference came naturally to Richard. Through their example, he learned to practice the ideals lived and taught by his grandparents, Jewish immigrants who fled to America from the turbulence and oppression in the Pale of Settlement, that largely impoverished world of Eastern European Jews in the 18th and 19th centuries. His father, Herman, the last of 9 children, was born in a shtetl so tiny that Richard could never find it on a map. In 1888, Herman's father, Fischel Mintz, a physician, joined the vast wave of Jewish émigrés seeking a future in the New World. Within a few years, he had transformed himself into Dr. Philip Mintz, with an apartment and practice on Salem Street in Boston's North End, the city's bubbling immigrant melting pot. In 1893, literally around the corner, on a cul-de-sac called Baldwin Place, Esther Gordon became the first American-born child of Moses and Chena Gordon, recent immigrants also from a shtetl near Vilna. 21 years later, she had grown into a vivacious and popular catch, and Herman was the lucky suitor. They would relish each other's company for the next 60 years. Richard made his arrival on September 26, 1921, a little more than 4 years after his sister Marjorie was born. His was a close and traditional family, with mother caring for the children and father supporting them all. After graduating from Andover, Richard followed in his father's footsteps to Harvard, but his education was interrupted by World War II, for which he promptly enlisted in the Navy as a flight instructor. When victory was achieved, he became part of a select group of veterans without college degrees, who were allowed to enter Harvard Law School immediately. Upon graduating, Richard joined his father's firm, becoming its 8th lawyer. He would remain there for 63 years, seeing Mintz, Levin, Cohn become Mintz, Levin, Cohn, Ferris, Glovsky, and Popio, and grow to become one of Boston's largest and most respected firms with a national and international presence. During his years there, he became not only a senior partner, but also its guiding light and nurturer of the Mintz-Levin family. In addition to his legal work, Richard lived a full life as father to 2 daughters, Patricia and Amy, and after marrying Eva Jean Malter in 1974, as a caring parent to her 2 children, James and Valerie. In 1991, Richard discovered the project which was to energize and redefine his next 20 years. On an elevator ride with a young associate named Barbara Hunt, he learned about a derelict, boarded-up 1919 synagogue on the back of Beacon Hill called the Vilna Shul. It was the last of Boston's more than 50 original immigrant synagogues, and it was in danger of being demolished. Its founders and congregants had largely hailed from Vilna Gubernia, the birthplace of his father and all his grandparents. Quickly, his interest evolved into a commitment, and that commitment grew into a passion. The Vilna Shul had unexpectedly struck profound emotions, allowing Richard to connect to his own roots and to the lives and sacrifices of Jews who, like his grandparents, had overcome hardships and uncertainty, becoming established in America. Inspired by his and Eva Jean's enthusiasm and leadership, restoring the shul has evoked the same deeply felt response in donors, volunteers, and docents. Their goal is to preserve this last remaining landmark of our collective past and to keep alive the story of those remarkable people and their transformation from shtetl Jews into engaged and successful Americans. Slowly, step by step, with a constant flow of individual and institutional gifts, the forsaken, unassuming, yet inspiring shul has been stabilized and partly restored. Its large, shattered stained glass star, broken doors and windows, cracked overhead skylights, leaking roof and bricks, and ancient heating system have all been repaired or replaced. The building's bones are once again healthy and strong, but there is still much left to do. Research has revealed layers of hand-painted murals and stenciled designs on the walls of the Old World Sanctuary. That artwork is being painstakingly restored, beginning with a large mural at the rear of the women's section, which was completed in 2011. While the work proceeds, cultural and religious activities are the heartbeat of the shul's daily life.
Here we have pictures.
Tour groups, families, and curious tourists of all faiths regularly visit the synagogue, where trained docents and staff members share the story of the shtetls, the shul, and the nearby Jewish neighborhoods in the north and west ends, where so many immigrants got their start. Fascinating and informative exhibits tell the rich story of Boston's Jewish community and its ascent through different neighborhoods as it chased the American dream. A popular lecture series brings speakers from around the world to share their ideas and expertise with the growing Vilna community. And Jewish spiritual life is once again alive in the shul. Each year, couples from all over Boston choose to get married on the historic bima, and the chanting voices of young bar and bat mitzvot frequently fill the sanctuary with the music of Jewish affirmation and continuity. Equally exciting are the lively monthly Kabbalat Shabbat services of Havurah on the Hill, a group which has created its own service and which attracts as many as 150 young adults. The Vilna Shul today is the Jewish historical presence in the city of Boston. It is preserving and interpreting our history. It provides an invaluable architectural link to our past and a spiritual home to a new generation of Jews who wish again to live in the heart of Boston. And it is the living legacy of Richard Mintz and of the many generous professionals and volunteers whom he nurtured and inspired to share his vision. But his dream of saving and restoring the shul has only been partly realized. A great deal remains to be done. Please honor his memory and that of all our immigrant ancestors by making that dream come true.